Hello. I just got really high and realized I didn't do a video for a while. So this is my living in this is my living in Boulder vlog. As you can tell, the snow melted off of the tree. It's really warm outside now. It's like summer. Yeah, and I got a haircut. Okay, yeah, let me do a little update, Arushki. So it's Monday. So I've been hammering on my website, and I did I think since the last time I did a video, I started 2 new pages. Or yeah, 2 new pages on my website, and so it's woo. Keep on opening up these Pandora boxes, but this one is the most fascinating one I've ever done in my entire life. The one that I just started, I think it was yesterday. And then the one before that was the second most fascinating. So yesterday, I started, and so I haven't been riding on my bike because my bike computer wasn't working, so I had to order a new part. They changed the technology on how bike computers work. Instead of the magnet going around the spoke, now they have a centrifugal force thing that you attach to your hub. But my hub is too thick around for it to attach, so I'm going to call them today. It's Monday. Couldn't call them on the weekend. So I'll call them right after this video, I guess, and figure out what's going down, try and get that working. But, so yesterday, but I mean, I don't think I want to ride my bike anyway, because the program that I'm doing, the thing that I'm doing right now on my website is, you can't ride the bike because you need to have a steady hand, and you have to, and you also need to concentrate way too much. It's kind of like writing. Writing. So let me tell you the new thing that I'm doing. And this is something I've been wanting to do forever, and I don't think, and I think I didn't do it because my old computer was too slow, and because you couldn't. Because like what I wanted to do is, I wanted to, on Google Earth, I wanted to be able to mark out areas with different colors that you could click on and off with visuals, like layers, and Google Earth never had that. And then I noticed that they had Google Earth Pro, so I tried to download Google Earth Pro, and I guess Google Earth Pro is like newly free. And it seemed like it didn't download right, but then I clicked on this thing again, which is between, here, I'll just show it, I guess. It's between like ruler, this one where you make your path, and then you have this one right here, which is area, and then you can make these. That's southern Texas, because I'm doing the Native American tribes today. I'm going to try and do all Native American tribes. I'm doing the linguistic groups, and then inside of linguistic groups, I'm going to do all the tribes. And this fucking map, dude. What map is this? Yeah, I can show you. It's this Native American tribe map, dude. It's like 3,000 pixels by like 4,000 pixels, man. It's like a PNG, and it's like 8 megabytes, and it's like huge, dude. It's awesome. So anyway, and so I was doing, but yesterday I pretty much completed. I need Italy the same way with all the, but I haven't put on linguistic groups, and then. But I have like Roman provinces or Roman states within Italy, which are made out of the tribes, and then in the tribes around Italy, I have it broken down into all the tiny, or around Rome, all the tiny little tribes, and so in their area and everything on the map. So yeah, I'll do a YouTube video about that. But it's amazing. This is the most fascinating section I've ever done because it's because it goes by really quickly. You can make it really quickly, because you just outline. You can do. I mean, I could probably do all of America today or something. So, and then and the amazing thing with Google Earth is because then you can, you can control the opacity. So you can look at it in Google Earth normally with it superimposed, and you can see like all the different sizes and everything of the different tribes and know what makes a tribe. You know, it's fucking awesome. And so, and a different, what are size of different tribes. Now, the reason that I did that, that I got started on that, is because, and you know what, I might get carried away into the whole freaking world. Because I already have the data punched in for so much, like for France, you know? And so, that could take like a month or two, you know what I mean? Like that could give you, but, and I have a Macintosh now, you know, which is built well, so I don't have to worry about it crashing and then losing all the work I did. And then maybe I can save it, like sign in. I haven't even looked into that, but yeah, if somebody knows, please say. But maybe I can sign into like Google Earth account and then save all my settings, because I have a bunch of settings on my old computer on my Windows. There's my Windows computer. Okay. And there's my Mackie. Okay. And so. Yeah, so, yeah, if somebody knows if there's a way that I can upload it to, like, my Google Earth account so that all my settings get saved, that'd be fucking awesome. And, you know, it would be double awesome if like, you could, like, share those settings with somebody else. Because then I could just transfer them over to anybody else, and you could have the shit on your computer. Holy shit. Why the fuck doesn't Google Earth have it already installed, pre-installed? What the hell's wrong with these motherfuckers? They have the money. Anyway. You know why? It's because setting, like, exact boundaries for all these tribes can be a matter of contention between people. And you kind of need somebody to just do it, you know, to have the authority to just freaking do it. And that's me. So you know what? Google Earth, you're more than welcome to hack into my account or whatever. I can upload this shit. And just build your map of all the tribes and ethnic groups and shit off of my website. And just plug it in. And call it a day. Stick a fork in it. And then maybe you could give me a little bit of money. Or credit. I don't know. Anyway, so the reason that I got going on that was because the project that I was working on before this was my bike racer level page for when I go into be bike racer. But, and so I was working on, so the last thing I was working on was Tour of Boulder, because I was getting into Google. I was making all these cool rides around Boulder. And then I remembered about the Colorado Mountain Bike Trail. And so I traced that. And then I was like, oh, let's do the same thing with this that I did with Tour Boulder and Tour de France, is where you do the little snapshots of all the climbs. And so I was doing that, and I was like, okay, well, then I have to have the big view. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to do that, let's do the Great Divide Trail from Canada to Mexico. So I was going to do that, and I was like, well, if I'm going to do that and I'm going to show it, like I need to make a page calibrating all of the different areas of the land where, you know, looking at it, where it's, you know, a certain amount of miles from top to bottom. And so I came up with the, you know, for when you show the trail. And so I came up with the idea where you do 10 meters, because you can get it down to 10 meters on Google Earth. 25 meters, because you double it. 50 meters, 100 meters, and I guess that would be like the, you know, the small detail section. And then 250 meters, 500 meters, kilometer, 2.5 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 40 kilometers, 80 kilometers, 160 kilometers, 320 kilometers, 640 kilometers, 1,200 or 1,320 kilometers, and then like 2,580 kilometers or something like that. And that's like big enough to encompass America or the Roman Empire. And then you go double that, and it's like half the world, and then you double that, and it's a world. So I think it's like 15 different area sizes. And and like if you travel, what you would travel one day, like on a horse, would be about 30 miles a day if you're traveling over between hilly and mountainous terrain. Um, and that's about, and if you're talking at your average trail that kind of zigzags, that's about 20 kilometers from top to bottom area. To travel 30 kilometers because it zigzags, which is about a day. So, and that's enough detail to see good detail. You could see like, you pretty much, even build big buildings and stuff. And so, and to plug that into like America, all the way across America would be, I don't know, all the way across the whole trail, which is from Banff, which is like 500 miles or 250 miles north of the border, is like 109 segments. And so, and my bike racer level was 100 segments. So, and I could do that. That's not too much time consuming. And within those segments, you show all of all four vantage points, like north, south, east, west, on diagonally on Google Earth, and then top to bottom, and then within context, like where you click and the vantage point's already set. Because Google Earth is so good now that you can kind of be a Google Earth photographer. You go into Google Earth and you set certain vantage points for certain things, and you click it, and you can be an artiste that way. And so, yeah, and just make a tour, like a visual Google Earth tour of those trails. But in order to do that, I wanted to put it in and plug it. I figured it would be time to do this project that I've been thinking about for so long, where you plug in the maps of all of the different tribes and ethnic groups, so that like, as you're doing your bike ride, who you're traveling through and how long it takes to travel through. Like today, we're passing through the area of the Ambiani or something. So you have it, because I have it calibrated, kind of like how I had the Boulder calibrated Tour de France, and the Sunshine Canyon calibrated L'Alpe d'Huez. I have America calibrated with Europe, and I have Boulder calibrated with Rome, all the way from 10 meters all the way out. So when you're looking at like Colorado, you can look at the same size over in Europe at the different tribes, and so when you can feel, as you're traveling through Colorado, you can feel yourself traveling through Italy and traveling through all the different tribes, so you know how big those different tribes are, and you know exactly how big it is, and yeah, so but so in order to do that, I had to go and do that project first. And the way that I work with these projects, that's so big. In order to do the whole planet, I'll probably won't finish it, but I'll probably get like a big chunk of the way through until I burn out, and then go back to the other thing. So and then I'll come back and finish it. But that's what I've been up to, and I think that's what I'm going to do as hard as I can now, because it's fascinating. I haven't even looked at it yet. Where I go diagonally and I visualize the tribe in this area, and then the other tribe over here, and then. Because then because you can know how long it takes one person to travel in a day, at the different speeds. I have it calibrated. Actually, I think it's on my population page, which is up now. You should check it out. All the different speeds you go on a horse and different terrains. But, and then another page I want to make is, make a page showing, and actually in this page too, just superimpose it, showing how many, how long you can do in a day going around in a circle, like if you're doing a tour of your kingdom or something. And, to give people an idea of like what creates these different tribal areas. It's like how, and then also linguistic groups, and that'll give you an idea of how much they traveled. So anyway, that's kind of, that's a lot of detail and a lot of work and a lot of like ideas of stuff, ways I'm going to do it I haven't even thought of yet. So, but that's what I'm up to now. See, it trips me out that I live in a place right here in Colorado that has all these trails that go right by it, and the Great Divide Trail is this trail that's a mountain bike trail, single track. I guess it's 90% on dirt road, on single track, that goes up along the Continental Divide, and the Colorado Trail goes up and over like the mountains, over the tops of the mountains. from here to Durango, and then the tours I made go over the mountains. And so when you're riding, you're like so far away from civilization. It's kind of like you can pretend that you're out in the middle of, like thousands of years ago, on your bike. Your bike is not your horse. And bikes, there's this, I found out about this as I was studying how far you could travel in a day on a horse. I found out about this horse race that's from like Reno, Nevada to like Lake Tahoe or something. It's a 100-mile horse race over a trail, and I think it has its fair share of climbing. I don't know, I can't remember exactly how much, but it takes the winner. The winner was a man, and the person who got second was a girl, and there were like 100 people who did it or something, 50 people, and she finished like 2 minutes after him or something, but I think it took him like 15 hours or something, 14 hours. And I think you can go back. I think you could do that trail. I would love to do that trail on my bike, but I think you could do that faster on a bike than on a horse. I think you could do pretty much any terrain faster on a bike than a horse, even the hard, from any kind of terrain, like the hard terrain. And you would do way better than a horse on the extremes as well. Like if you're on a road, a bike would absolutely smoke a horse over a day's course. A bike can withstand like 22 miles an hour all day long, and a horse would get tired. And then a bike could smoke a horse over the tops of mountains because the horse would get tired and slip and all that kind of stuff, and a bike would just keep going. A bike would blaze down. Horses get tired because they're two four-legged animals, and they have all four legs that they have to move around. They can run really fast, but they can't keep it up. In fact, if you were to have a human being without a bike race a horse over the course of a day, a human would probably win. Even a horse without a rider on it. A naked human, balls dangling, no shoes on, assuming you have leather feet, and a horse on an enduro race for a day, I bet you a human would win. So anyway, or maybe not. If a human didn't win in a day, maybe a little bit longer than that. But yeah, because humans only have 2 legs, we're better conservers of energy, and with bikes we're way better. So yeah, so it's cool, man. You can, like the people who do the travel from, like if it would take your average horse, in the day, like 109 days, like over like 3.5 months to go to do the Continental Divide Trail. The fastest guy who does it, the record is like 17 days or something. Average like 130 miles a day over mountains and stuff. So you can move. That's kind of like, so a bike compared to the past. See, because that's what my website's all about, comparing the future to the past, and like consolidating everything, standardizing everything for your mind. That would be like super horse. That'd be like you. That would be like a Pony Express type of a situation, and they had that in Rome. The mail system where they had the checkpoints, and I'll set it up. You know what? I'll go nuts, dude. I'll set up fucking roads. I'll set up. I'll put the battles in there. Fuck it, man. But yeah, I can't remember exactly how far apart, but I think it was like every 40 miles they'd give the dude a new horse. So you'd have a fresh horse every 40 miles, and so that I didn't study. That would be amazing to study and see what the fastest they could do those big routes in, and compare it with the bike, because maybe that's even comparable. And see, that way you could compare yourself to the past. You could be like a rich dude in the past who could just like snap your fingers. Like you're a rich dude who didn't waste your money building shit and throwing parties, but you spent your money traveling around with your Pony Express that you had set up, and then you would have a realistic idea of how long it could take you to travel all over the empire, the ancient empire. And so yeah, I want to do that trail ride. I want to do it like a bunch of times, because it's not just about the ride, but it's about memorizing. Because I want to memorize the whole like area of America on the trail between Banff and New Mexico. So I can like plug that knowledge into Europe and know how you could memorize the same thing there. And maybe even when I'm older, Like for the next 10 years, I would ride that trail over and over again and ride my bike around Colorado. And then I guess I'd do the kayak trip starting from my house. And then after that, maybe I'll just travel forever. And then after that, people will have gotten the idea for me to build their own little things like in Iraq, Like I was thinking about that the other day, like a cool way to fight ISIS and stuff in Iraq is to have people who totally rebel against all of violence, where they would just go out there and they would call themselves like the peacefuls or something, and they just have nothing. They have like just like a white robe on, kind of like sadhus. And the problem with Iraq is it's not that, it's kind of deserty, so you can't just like pick figs off trees and survive that way. You would have to so it's kind of not realistic. But if you could somehow like eat bark or something, I don't know. You could you could be the peacefuls walking around, maybe ISIS would get pissed off at you and they have to blow a few peacefuls' heads off or whatever. But if there were enough of them, then the peacefuls would be like, we're going to start a trail and we're going to do secret pilgrimage trail. Because there's all kinds of ancient trade routes all over the ancient world, like down the Euphrates. You could do a cool like canoe trip down the Euphrates. And so anyway, that could people could slowly start to focus on creating cool trips like that instead of fighting each other down there. Because that's a good way. See, there's so many, with the technology growing, there's so many different industries, like physical industries where you interact with other people, becoming extinct. No more, not as many stores out there because you buy stuff online. And even education, people getting education online and this online, that online. So the new way for social interaction and for economies, new industries that put people to work and keep people busy and keep people healthy is the tourist industry, traveling up and down all of these different ancient routes. And then you would just set up different party postals or whatever along the routes and like grocery stores and stuff or campgrounds. And yeah, so then by the time after 10 years of like biking all over, memorizing my trail here in Colorado and then doing my kayak trip, maybe they'll have like all the Roman roads set up as bike tours in Europe, and then I'll go do the Roman road bike tour, and then I'll go do the canoe trip up and down the Nile and then the Euphrates, and then I'll mountain bike the Silk Road, and they'll have it all set up on like Google Earth, like the way I have mine set up, and so it'll be all fascinating, and like with all of the different historical information there. And I'll have all the historical knowledge in my head already, so I'll know exactly what I want to look at and talk about. And I'll do videos, and I can make money also with that, with all my knowledge. So, anyways, that is that's what I see the future doing, and that's what my plans are. Somebody actually asked me. This is kind of a video request, so I'll put it in the title. It was a video request. What my plans for the future of like my next outdoor excursions are. So I guess I'll lead that into this. Yeah, my next outdoor excursions are I want to mountain bike all around Boulder. And I'll probably do a little bit of that for the sake of my website, plugging in like how fit I am and everything. This summer, I'll probably go on a couple mountain bike rides, couple motorbike rides, couple road rides, couple drives. What's that? Mountain bike, road, motorcycle, car. That's 4. That's 8. Yeah, I'll probably go out on like 8 rides or whatever. And this summer, and then the rest of the summer, I'll be riding my bike. As soon as I'm done with the maps, though, I'm not going to ride the bike with a map. And this could go on for a while. Maybe the rest of the winter. Then I'll ride my bike and work at the same time. And try to get polish my website up as much as I can. Throughout this whole summer, and then next winter, and then I'll be fit, hopefully, because I'll be riding the bike. On my table, by the way, just for people who don't know what I'm talking about. There's my table, my bike table. So I'll do that, and then by the summer of 2016. Is when I'll be mountain biking the Colorado Trail and then maybe even the Divide Trail if I can afford it. I don't think I'm gonna do the Colorado Trail unless I feel financially secure, and I'm not gonna do the Divide Trail until I'm out of debt. Oh, but I am going to sell my van. Maybe I'll do a video specifically about that. I just spent like $500 this winter on my van. My wheel fell off once in the middle of a blizzard on my way to work while I was driving it, and that was like a couple $100 to fix because I had to get like the battery replaced. The battery was fine when I started, but he said it was dead when it was there, so he replaced it, and then something else. But that was like a couple $100, and then a couple of weeks ago, I was driving down the road and my gas pedal fell off, and so I had to get that in. This really nice guy came and like helped me out and loaned me some tools, and then picked him up there later. And then it had leaked the coolant that I had forgotten about, and it didn't overheat, but there was this leak that he had to clamp up and then fix the side panel light, and that was like $260. So it's like, even if you don't drive your car, you still have to pay to get it maintained. And because I only filled up the tank like once last year, I don't really drive anymore, so it's kind of like rotting there. And my life that I have now, I don't need it, so I need to sell it. Oh yeah, plus my roommate got a car, and he's not going to drive it. And he needs somebody to look after his car and also to help him pay for the repairs and stuff. And so I can't afford to maintain two cars, so I'm going to sell my van. As soon as I can get around to it, I'm going to put it on the website to sell it. But I'm so hooked in with what I'm doing now that, that might take a while. It doesn't really matter because I guess people buy cars in the spring anyway. But I want to sell that, and that'll help me get out of debt. So, but yeah, so hopefully in 2016, in the month of August, I don't really work that much, so I'll see if I can like get all of August off and just and then whenever the idea is that make as much videos as I can to make enough money with this later on with my website and my videos, that I can be like just a bike gypsy and just ride my bike all the time making videos, and that'll make me enough money to just do that, and then that'll lead into the kayak trip and all the other trips and just be a gypsy and make money off of what I've done, what I've built on the website. But I need to tie it up. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, my timeline for that is probably 2016. I'll do the Colorado Trail, and 2017, I guess, the Continental Divide Trail, and just do that until I won't. But if I don't get started riding, that'll be I'm 42, and I want to do it at least 10 years because I'm into the number 10 because of my website. It's getting me into the number 10, so that'll take me down 52, but that's kind of an odd number. I like 55, it rhymes, so 13 years. That's a cool number. I'll do that for 13 years, and then I'll do the kayak trip, and then I'll do the other stuff. But see, I think I'll be physically strong enough until I'm that age anyway. So I think I'm still, but yeah, I know that I can't get out there and ride too much without having this, because I'll only be thinking about my website if I go out there, and that'll freak me out. So yeah, so that's what I'm up to. Yeah, and I'll do videos as soon as I can tear myself away from this. But today I'm going to see if I can maybe do all of America. I got up pretty early today. It was like 9 or something. 8:30 or 9 when I got up, and I was working until like, I don't remember. It was like 4 or something. But I feel rested. I need to call the dentist. Been calling the dentist, but he doesn't call back. And get that taken care of. And I renewed my car registration yesterday. Oh, now I'm babbling. Okay, I guess I've talked long enough. Yeah, I'll try to do the video showing my Google Earth thing pretty soon. Yeah, as soon as I get this done, and do a whole like historical lesson on Google Earth. That'll be freaking awesome. I have to figure out how to do that on do screen capture recordings on Macintosh. Does anybody know with Macintosh, are there free programs for screen capture video recordings? Or if not, are there any? Do you know of any good paid programs for that? Okay, peace out. Okay. How long does it take me to have meal? Let's see, young Turks, I guess, while I'm at it. A little hot. A little hot. Let's get some orange juice. Weed.
The seemingly innocent drug has been legalized around the country. In this city, people are killing each other over marijuana, more so than anything that we ever had to deal with in the 80s and 90s with heroin and cocaine. In some instances, it's a causal factor, but it's influencing almost everything that we do here. Okay, so stop right there. First of all, marijuana does not make you life. Okay, that's just a fact. Okay, I deal with facts, I deal with science. Has there been violence related to marijuana? There could be. And what he was specifically talking about was these, like rip-off wars, right? So someone owes someone marijuana, or someone needs to pay for marijuana and they haven't paid. So as a result, they kill each other. That stuff goes down when you have a black market for marijuana, right? So legalizing it in a way where people can get their hands on it in a legal way, they don't have to go to drug dealers, actually brings the crime down. I mean, come on.
So, three things that are certain about this statement. Yeah, marijuana is causing homicides over the city. Honest face. Second of all, marijuana legalized in Colorado and Washington. Okay, I mean, how many hundreds or thousands of miles away are those states? What the fuck are you talking about? And then number three, you said in the statement that it's because of the wars related to marijuana. And those wars happen because it's illegal. I mean, it's a stunning lack of logic.
When was the last time someone killed another individual because they owed money for alcohol? Right?
Oh, another great point. Hey, can I get an amen in here?
Amen.
Well,
Okay.
actually, we're doing amen for you.
Oh.
Okay,
I
amen.
can amen myself, right?
Yes.
Now, the Washington Post did really great coverage on this story, and they actually did bring up some numbers. So, first of all, uptake of violent crime is not that much. We're looking at an 8-week period. Okay, that's not enough time to draw any conclusions about anything. But, according to the Washington Post, even if this is uptake full through December, New York would end up I shouldn't say over, that's still a lot of murders. But this city had 2,245 murders in 1990. Remember, Bill this is more serious than anything we had to deal with in the 80s and 90s. Wrong again,
I'm Louis, and I quit smoking with Chantix. I told myself for so long that I needed to quit smoking, and I would quit, and then I knew my life. Chantix absolutely helped me quit smoking, along with support. Today,
the Supreme Court verdict are kingdom. Very likely to determine the fate of people. Now, we're not going to know until late July, late June, or possibly even early July what is going to end up happening to Obamacare.
Oh, 5 minutes.